Happy Tuesday! Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I am your hostess with the hottest coffee around, Laurie Calcaterra, writer, creator of Path of the Pale Rider. What are you drinking in your mug today? That's what I would like to know. I'm still working on these Colombian coffee beans that give me way too much caffeination in the morning. So, get a little hectic, but it's all right, and it helps me get through the week. I love to be here with you guys, hanging out. Hot tears, better than something else, Uncle Carl. I made a squishy brain oh, Carrie will have to see pictures. By the way, Apex, my friend, Peter Palmiotti is always welcome on the show. He just needs to reach out to me to grab a spot. The show is booked out a little bit, so it's hard. I feel bad because it's hard to get on the show if you have an immediate project. Like if you're launching in August or September, October, November, I'm booked out to February. Okay. But please, everybody is especially Peter. Peter and I go back. And so he's always welcome to come on the show. Some people will cancel, so I'll reach out when I know someone has a live project, when someone has canceled for reasons, and then we can get people on the show. Nem, good morning. You've already drunk your Tuesday morning brew. At first, when I read this, I thought you said that you were drunk, and I was going to question your life choices. But no, time to go make more coffee. I get you. Posted it on Facebook. Oh, well, I'll have to go check it out. Sorry, I've been busy this morning. Uncle Carl, I'm going to have to make some coffee creamer called something or other. I'll come up with it. I don't know. To go along with my zombies that Lou Pons named. Absolutely. So, good morning. If you all are not aware, Path of the Pale Rider has ended on Kickstarter. We ended on August 8th. We actually ended at 6,666. Whatever that means, I don't know. Is it a thing? I don't know. But it's a blessing to be this far into the story, to have be working on issue 7 is such an amazing feeling. And I really can't wait to let you guys in on the secret of what is coming. The blah, 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 blah. Exactly. If you missed the campaign and you would still like to get books, you can. Thank you, Carrie, by the way. Carrie. Here is the link to the Kickstarter. You can still order books. Thank you. If there's anything else that you would like and you need to make arrangements for that, please reach out to me. We can make arrangements to send you additional things. The add-ons are turned off at this time, but if you would like to contact me directly, we can work things out. The only thing that I can't do is the hot sauce. Hot sauce is turned off. Good morning, Lou. So I will be planning a trip to the laser engraver next week. I think I got to make something like 10 wooden covers around there. Like, that's incredible. That's a great feeling. You know what I mean? To be making that many wooden covers. Hi, Matthew. Good morning. So I thought you were taking, this is Tuesday, John Westhoff. It's Tuesday. So I'm here every Tuesday. Why wouldn't I be? It's the Tuesday morning brew. I don't do the Tuesday morning brew on Wednesday. That's ridiculous. That's blasphemy. So if you look behind me over this shoulder, you can see the Zombie Ween crown. If you don't know about the beef between myself and Brandon Starachi from Avalon, we've been having this on and off beef, mostly on Instagram. But we finally went head to head. We did this Summer Ween slam down with the Zombie Book Club podcast. It's freaking hilarious. You will be triggered, so I apologize if you are from a divorced situation. We really went head to head, but you have to tune in when the Zombie Book Club releases that episode. It's freaking funny. And they usually just do audio, but they will be doing audio and video this time. So you guys have to tune in to see, did I eviscerate Brandon? Or do I have to mail him this crown? So the stakes were, if he won, I have to mail him this crown, or if I won, he had to shave off his mustache. So, yeah. Uh-huh. I know. I see Ian back in the back cringing, but that's what would happen if he lost. So you have to tune in to see who was victorious. Was it me? Was it Brandon? We will find out. Let's see. Wednesday on Netflix had a zombie. Really? Which one? Wednesday on Wednesday. Like the show Wednesday? I like being thought of whenever there's a zombie anything. So check out Night Slayers on Kickstarter, please. Yes, please do, everybody. There's still a ton of projects on Kickstarter that need your love and your support so they can get funded and continue making cool stuff. And enough about me. Let's move on. My guest today, wifey and cats want early lunch. All right. See you later, Uncle Carl. Have a great day. Wednesday from Adam's Family. Gotcha. And here, of course, is the link to Matthew's project. My guest today is none other than Ian Miller, and I have had the wonderful opportunity to be on his podcast a few times and really had a good time. And I'm so glad that he is now on the Brew. So now I get to bombard him with my 5,000 questions. I've been really looking forward to it. So everybody give a warm welcome to Mr. Ian Miller. Yay!
Hey, everyone.
Welcome to
Laurie,
the
it's
show.
great to see you.
You
Thank
too.
you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I know. I saw you cringing back there when I said Brandon had to shave off his mustache. Would you?
I had Brandon on the show
Oh,
once. I hope to have him on again. But yeah. Oh, man. I've been following you back
a
and forth on
beef?
Instagram. Yeah.
I don't know. Would you ever sign up for something where the stakes were shaving off your beard and mustache, Ian?
No, I love this thing, because I'm an okay looking guy, but I like the beard and the mustache now. Apparently, so do the women. So can't really shave it off.
Oh, I hope Brandon. I can't say what happened because I want people to tune into the show. But it's like I remember I was teasing him. I was like, "Oh, I'm Brandon. Oh no, like he's gonna be baby faced." We'll see. We'll see if it'll actually happen, right? So,
Yeah.
oh, Gilbert. Wait.
At least
So
he's honest.
elaborate. Shave my mustache and beard. My wife will hate it. She'll hate it if you shave it off, or she wants you baby face and smooth face. Yeah? Which one? You have to clarify here, please. So, Ian, how are you, man? It's been a little while since I was on your show.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I have been busy. As I've told you off camera, obviously, I've been busy doing my own.
So you're on Team Ian. The wife loves it, and you are in trouble if you
there
shave
you
it
go.
off. I got it.
There you
But
go.
see,
There you
Nem's face. She loves the baby face. Nem's wife. She tolerates the weed. So we'll see. Anywho,
Yeah.
you've been super busy.
Yeah, I'm currently editing my Kickstarter pre-launch page. I'm hoping to have it done by the end of this week. Well, hopefully.
Exciting.
But yeah, then the Kickstarter guides will actually allow me to have it, upload and launch.
They want you to what?
No, I'm hoping the Kickstarter guides will actually approve the project, with no
Oh,
problem.
yeah. I think they've been pretty quick recently. There was a stint though that they took like over a week. And I was like, what's going on? Like, hello. And I had to send them an email and they were like, oh, well, you're approved. And I was like, well, thank you, but I don't know. You know what I mean? But then like my last campaign, I was like, is it okay? And they were like, approved. And I was like, I don't understand how it works that way. So so that's exciting. How long? Okay, so this is your very first Kickstarter?
Yep.
That you're working on. That's exciting. But this is not your first book, which is so cool. So for everybody that doesn't know, Ian writes Codename Hunter, and you have several issues that are out in the world.
Yeah.
But you've just never run a campaign before. Is there a reason why you haven't run a campaign? I'm just curious.
Well, because I never really, took the time to actually do the research into it. It wasn't
Mhm.
until I started having other indie creators on my podcast. So it's like, you know what? Let me take the time to actually do the research. Let me see what I could do, and I didn't have enough stuff at the time because I wanted to do it right away. So that takes time, and I had these ideas. I had 3 issues under my belt. I'm currently working on issue 4 right now.
Right.
So I'm like, this seems like the perfect opportunity to do it now while I'm still in preparation for issue 4, and I also have some merchandise. So
Okay.
this is another idea.
And for those, that don't know Codename Hunter, what do you do on Codename Hunter?
Ugh, I do everything. The
Right, so you're the
writing,
writer,
the artwork,
the artwork, pencils
the
and inks
colors.
and
Yeah,
color, right?
yeah.
And then do you letter?
I also let her. Yeah,
See, and so that kind of explains it too, where it's like, you don't need to Kickstarter for like myself, I pay Gilbert, who is a wonderful artist and is worth every penny, but I need that support. Where you don't need that, where you can just do everything yourself, but still, it's like you still want that, to help with the print and to distribute, distribute,
yeah,
distribute. Excuse me
yeah.
while my brain doesn't make words. You know
I
what I
get it.
mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So but yeah, and then again, it's like if you're not working on Codename Hunter, it doesn't go anywhere. So if you take that time off to go research Kickstarter, the book's not getting done.
Yeah,
So it's that
yeah,
double-edged sword.
exactly. It's interesting. With issue 1, I actually did have a colorist. I had my friend Eric
Mhm.
Hernandez, who's the co-founder of the company, color issue 1. But this was back, when we both had no money and anything like that. So he just did it for free because he wanted to make sure the brand, was up and running. And I was like, thanks, man.
Yeah, that's incredible. Did you
Yeah.
send him a kickback? It's like, "Here's a shirt."
Uh, I've sent him a couple of things here and there,
Yeah,
but he and I grew up. When I grew up, we went to the same college, School of Visual Arts in Manhattan. So we were tight even since then, since college.
that's nice, that's cool.
Yeah.
You gotta have your support system.
Yep.
So let's go back. Let's dig into Ian Miller because I like interacting with people in like panel shows and going on other podcasts, but I feel like I always want to know like how did you get into this? Everybody finds comics their own way, which is what's so cool about comics. I find is that you can find it at any age and at any point in your life. So how did you get into comics? What's your influences? And ultimately, what was it that pushed you to just say, I want to do this myself?
Okay. So here's my origin story,
Yes.
and this is an origin story. What happened was this: when I was a kid, I grew up watching the first 2 Tim Burton Batman movies,
Yeah.
which then led me to the animated series. And I
Yes.
fell in love with the art style and the way the characters are designed. So I would, freeze frame or pause, when you had VHS tapes, of course, if the images, and I would just copy them. How I got into comics was actually interesting because at that point I had problems, reading. So my
Mhm.
godfather would actually bring comics to the house whenever he visited, just to help me read.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I fell in love with the art form, because it is an art form. It's not just the art, but it's also the dialogue. So from there, I just started mimicking, other artists, professional ones, not just Bruce Timm, but also Dave Stevens, who was another big fan of The Rocketeer. And something just clicked. I was like, making up stories, through kindergarten to high school. I was like, I loved creating stories. I loved telling, these type of come up with these great characters. So I knew immediately that I wanted to be, a comic book creator.
Mhm. So okay. So which This is a funny question to ask you, but do you think that you're like an artist that tells stories, or are you a writer that can also draw? Or are you some other category?
I don't know if I would be another category. I think it started out as an artist becoming a writer, then it slowly morphed into a writer being an artist because I took storytelling very seriously, especially how to come up with character development, so many big scenarios, stuff that we don't really see in comics anymore because again, I read the comics from the 90s. I was a 90s kid, so I was like, yeah, I want to do more. I want to tell them more. So that's when I became a writer.
That's smart. And I mean, like, if again, it's like you should be honing both crafts if you're gonna if you're gonna do all the
Yeah,
things, because
exactly.
and which again is seems so complicated to me because I already focus just on writing, and it takes up a lot of my time and study and reading, and it's like there's a lot to do just on one field, but it's like you're honing that craft and you have to continually draw to hone your artistic style too. So who has time to research Kickstarter? Not me. Like that. That makes sense.
Now, yeah, it does take time, and what I've actually learned to how to master both roles was taking a page from the creators from the Superman comics because back in the 90s they would have a bunch of creators, a bunch of the writers and the artists in one room, and they would actually plan out a year's worth of stories on these big
Hmm.
sheets. So I started doing that. I was like, okay, this is what I want to tell in 5 issues. When
Gotcha.
I want to do the next set. So I would keep in track, okay, what issue I'm on and how I should be writing it, and also planning out the art pages in advance.
Wow. And that's how really it should go, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Like, to me, it's like the difference between the TV show Lost and the TV show Breaking Bad. One of those obviously knew the end of where they were trying to go, and the other one got lost in the weeds, and we spent 5 weeks waiting for them to open the hatch, right? Um, so I mean, like, one is obviously better storytelling than the other, and so I feel like with your method where it's like, okay, here's where I'm trying to go, and we're planning that out in advance, that makes much more sense when you're writing and there's less meandering, there's less fluff. I hate fluff.
exactly, exactly.
Except for beards. I like fluffy beards. I just don't like fluff in my story. Mhm.
I get
Chat is still going on about beards.
it. Jesus.
Does a beard look odd without? She meant a stash. That's a great question. Does a beard look odd without a mustache? Yeah, I think so. That's just weird then, isn't it? Is it
Yeah,
who
it's a
does
little weird.
that?
It's a little weird.
Is it like Amish where they don't have a mustache?
I don't know.
I think there is. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I focus on my art to learn as much as I can so my art can write the stories. That's smart too. Because
Yeah,
again, I'm going to talk about Gilbert because he's here so I can torment him. Is that my story is words, and like for issue 7 there's very little dialogue, it's all action, and so I need Gilbert to tell the story because there's no words. So you have like Lou says, you have to learn how to communicate emotion and action and so many things, and I'm sure I'm like, feel free to add to that list. And there's so many things that artists have to communicate visually to a story without words. And that was always, hey, Pops, Gilbert Grape. No, Matthew. Gilbert Perez, who is the artist
oh
on
my
behalf of
god,
this guy.
oh my god.
Some are hard to draw, but they're fun as. Sorry. Well, it's not my fault that you jumped in at 5, 6, 7, and 8, Gilbert. Those are the hard ones. So.
Oh
But
man,
hey, we're gonna have a blast. So, when it comes to Codename Hunter, that's first of all, you sent me we first started talking about it, and you were like, hey, do you want to read my series? Which I always answer yes. Why would I say no to that? And you were like, it's called Codename Hunter. And I was like, that's a kick-ass name. I mean, that's an in right there, right? Where it's just
Yeah.
like, you get what you ask for. That's it. That's about when Gilbert and I were first talking about him coming onto Path, and he was like, I want action, and I want an ongoing story, and I want this. And I was like, check, check, and be careful what you ask for, because here's issue 7.
Yeah.
What was I saying? So when it comes to Codename Hunter, I like first pitch it to the audience, so that way they have a concept of what we're talking about, and then I want to dig into, how this came to be.
Okay, so Codename Hunter is a sci-fi spy thriller.
Mhm.
It's about the missions and adventures of an intergalactic intelligence division agent named Sean Wade, whose job it is to protect Earth and the galaxy from terrorism, both domestic and extraterrestrial. Yeah, this comic is set in the future in the year 3039, and their crazy stuff happens. Diabolical villains, are bent on
Sorry.
and galactic. Yeah, exactly.
You're like, and crazy stuff happens. I was like,
Yeah.
only because I've read it, so I know how crazy it gets. So it's just funny that he's like, crazy stuff happens. So
Oh yeah.
continue. I'm sorry, I didn't mean
Yeah.
to interrupt.
That's all right. Intergalactic domination. Mad scientists, extraterrestrials. It's got everything you want in a comic. It's pretty much James Bond meets Star Trek, Star Wars, a little bit of Guardians of the Galaxy.
I can
What
see
more could you?
that. And I would also say I would throw in some like big budget Marvel,
Yeah.
right? Because I can for
Yeah.
sure see like the Captain America, the second one. Which one is that?
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. Yeah, I could see
Yeah.
that being a good comparison as well. So I mean, like, was that directly influenced by the things you were watching as a kid? Was it like, how far back does this script go? Like, when did you start this? Let's go
I
start
actually
there.
started. I actually started this in college, and it was funny. The series actually wasn't originally supposed to be in science fiction. It wasn't. And I started writing it because I love the spy thriller genre, and I wanted to do something in that. But I had someone read the first draft, and they said it was too much like the series 24, because I was a big fan of that
Oh.
at the time. So I was like, okay, what can I do differently? And I read some of the comics that was that was printing at the time, and I'm like, what I don't see spies in science fiction that much. I don't see that. I don't see spies in
Yeah.
the future. So I kept thinking, well, what does that look like? What could that be? So when I started writing the second draft, obviously the script had been much improved, but also opened my mind to saying, okay, here's the possibilities. We're going to other worlds. We're seeing other, lives out there, extraterrestrial. We got spaceship battles. So suddenly everything was clicking, and
Mhm.
I was a big James Bond fan as a kid during the Pierce Brosnan era,
Yes.
and some of those movies
GoldenEye.
were, yeah, exactly. Some of those movies were quite well done, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, hell, the trouble with Red. Thank you.
That's you. Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's you're right though. I didn't even think about that. I was trying while you were talking, I was trying to think of a sci-fi with spies, and I can't really think of it. Can anybody in the chat think of a sci-fi, like real sci-fi, like Star Wars, Star Trek, space with spies in it? I mean, the only one I could think of that was semi-spy, it was what about The Fifth Element? Because there was an aspect, but not
yeah,
even close to what you're writing. But yeah,
yeah,
that's like a niche market that you fill now, which is cool.
yeah. And what was interesting was when I had the first issue released, someone came up to me and said, "You know what? I think you should read
Oh
Jim
yeah,
Steranko's run on Nick Fury, Agent of Shield."
that's interesting.
So I brought a copy of it, and I was like, absolutely right. I was influenced by it without even realizing it.
Yeah. Nem is right. Rogue One is a good one where
That
they were
is
trying
one.
to
Yeah,
sneak in. Yeah, steal Dune Messiah. That's true, but it
yeah,
hasn't
that's true.
been like I don't think that's been exposed to as many masses yet. Dune itself has a lot of espionage and um secret plans within plans within plans. No, we like it. We like sci-fi nerds. I like all those things. I'm sure Ian does too. That's why he writes it. So I mean,
Yeah,
let's nerd out. That's what we're
uh,
here for.
yeah, absolutely. I read Dune in high school, and I
Did
loved
you?
it. And
Yes.
yeah, and I always thought it was going to be impossible for them to make movies out of because I
It's
thought it would
still
be
impossible.
better fitting as I thought it would be better fitting as a graphic novel if I'm being honest.
Ooh, that would be have they done that?
I don't think they have, which is I'm shocked at.
Ah, thank you, Lou. We needed that. You can totally steal that, Ian. It's a spy-fi.
Spy-fi. I like
Yeah,
that. I
it's
like
a
that a lot.
intergalactic spy-fi. All right, so
Yeah.
you started coming up with a story in college. Was it and so this is always interesting to me too when I pick the mind of writers. Is it
Mm.
the character that started first or was it the world that started first and you had to come up with the characters to do the journey?
I started out with the character first, really.
Yeah.
I think that's how you should start these things usually because it's character driven. You have to fall in love with the character. You have to fall in love with the characters because otherwise, what's the point of buying each issue?
Right. I mean, obviously this story has to be told from the character's point of view and we need that
Yeah,
emotional
yeah.
attachment. I actually did the other way. I came up with the world first
Hmm.
and then had to go back and write a path for Jude St. Clair. And in fact, Jude didn't even have a name. I finished the first draft and Jude had not been named because I didn't have a
Yeah.
name for him. I needed something specific. And so, but it's like you're right. You have to be able to relate to that character in order for that attachment for people to come back because otherwise. So what are some of the methods that you use to make people, emotionally attached to a character?
Well, I do make the characters relatable. I made the lead character. I based it off of some of my own, characteristics. I'm a movie buff. I like to think about that. Sometimes I like to, play puzzles because he does that as well. I'm not. I'm not an action star, folks. I'm not. I'm not that. Believe me, I'm not that. I know
Are you
that.
sure? I think you're
No,
secretly
no,
an
no,
actual
no, no, no,
spy.
no, no, no,
The
no,
NSA
no,
is watching now.
no, no,
Sorry.
no, no. But some of my personality, I did put in the character. But I also just think about the people that's around me. I'm like, well, who is my supporting cast? So maybe I can take some of their personality and put it in these characters. Of course, I have their
Interesting.
permission, of course, but I want to make sure that we're very well developed characters. So I'm like, okay, what if I just sort of base them on people that I know?
Yeah. Are you gonna
And
are you gonna
so
tell
so far
us?
it's worked. No, I can't tell you. I can't tell you. You'll have to find
See,
out.
this is all the whole spy-fi thing. I can't tell you or I have to kill you. Good morning, Michael. How are you? Please don't kill anybody in the audience. Thank you. Um, so then you had written the story, you kind of developed the story through the character.
Mhm.
And then you were doing art all the time. So in college, what were you studying? Art?
I was trying to be a
Mhm.
cartoonist. I was.
Really?
Yeah,
They have classes for that? I took art
I
and it
did.
was like life drawing and
Well, that's
costumes,
the first year. That's the first year. They do live drawing, and they also do painting because they want you to get the basics first before you
right?
do any serious cartooning courses. But yeah, School of Visual Arts does that. They do from page layouts, digital coloring, lettering,
Yeah.
and so on.
That's awesome. I think I was too old because like animation and computer art wasn't really a degree or a focus when I first it was like you could take a class but there's one that you
Yeah.
could take in the art field when I cuz I graduated in 1999. So it was like 2000. It's like it was still like, man, we aren't really sure where this is going yet. And then of course it blew up. So if I had been born, I think maybe 3 years later, my whole art focus would have been something different. So,
Yeah.
what year did you graduate high school, Ian?
Uh, God, 2010.
Okay, so there's the big difference because they already had that available, which is
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I was like, man, because it's like I could probably go learn to do comic art, but I don't have another 10 years to go back and learn it. And it's a thing. Like, what are some of the things you think about when you create a panel or a page or a book? Like, what's the process for you?
The process is for one and first and
Dylan,
foremost.
shut up. Just kidding. I love you. You're a youngin. Anyway.
This is a good crowd. This is a good audience. So I should do this more often. I should come back here more often. To answer your question, you have to think about the placement of the lettering. That's one
Yeah,
of the things because and this helps as a writer because if I have to rewrite a line saying, okay, how can I make it fit in the word balloons without being a problem, then that's easy for me. But yeah, thinking about spacing, you have to really think about that. Also, what you're going to say.
right. But is that the first thing you think about for a page layout? Like, what's the
Well, it's not
very
the first. It's not the first thing. It's like, well, what's the scene going to look like? You
Yeah,
know, that's the typical thing at ours. What's it going to look like? And if you're working at someone else's script, obviously this is your own interpretation of someone else's writing. But if
right?
you're the writer and the artist yourself, you already know what's going to look like because when I'm writing it, I'm actually doing thumbnails as I'm writing, saying, okay, this works. Maybe I could do it at a different angle. Let me just change that. Or, no, 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 I don't like this panel, so let me just change it up completely, saying, okay, now I could see it in a different light. So it's like that.
Hmm. So, and then the pacing is always something because when I first wrote Path, it was a movie script. So
Mhm.
there's no like page turns or panels, when I first wrote it. And so now, can you stop?
Oh my God.
You're just making me feel old today, Dylan. Come on. But, now that it's like, we're converting it into comic book format, like it's important for me to tell Gilbert, like, okay, here's where I see the pages are turning, and this is how I see the panels, play out. And if I have something specific like camera angles or close or wide shot, like I have to make sure that I give him that information so that way, going into it, he has an understanding of what my brain. Now it's you.
Yeah.
Is
Well,
someone
that's the
mowing the
thing.
grass outside?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I am
My
sorry about
husband
that.
was, weed whacking outside just a few minutes
Oh,
ago, and I was like, "Come on."
I
Big
apologize about
reveal
that. I,
pages, exactly. Like, where do the pages turn and the pacing and, and so when I'm writing my script, I'm going through like, "Okay, what's the big moment that needs to happen halfway?" And then I kinda divide up the pages on either side,
yeah.
but, it's like, do you have like, how many panels on a page do you think is acceptable? And in what case can you break that rule?
I would say close to maybe 4 or 5 panels per page will be acceptable.
Yeah.
I would break that rule, when I need to do, splash pages.
Uh-huh.
That's one thing. Or sometimes I can just do it in one reveal page, just one, full page. Yeah, big
Yeah,
reveal pages.
that makes sense. I mean, would you do more than 5 panels? Is there an excuse to
Oh,
do that?
yeah, yeah. I would do more than 5 panels. I would try to fit 6 or even 7 sometimes, but
Well, I'm gonna send you $20 later. Thank you so much. Oh my god. But, I mean, like, is it time? Like, okay, so I'm just talking about, like, pacing. In my mind,
okay,
the more panels, obviously, the smaller they have to be, so they have to be
yeah,
quicker moments. Am I
yeah,
right? Like, is that when
yeah.
you would use more panels when we're trying to make, like, time go faster?
Yeah, absolutely.
What made me decide to turn the script into a comic? Well, when I originally wrote it as a screenplay, I was I was letting beta readers read it, and I was being told that the script was worthy of Netflix, to pitch it to Netflix. And
Mhm.
one, it's hard to do. It costs you money. And then they probably wouldn't give me as a writer the time of day because I'm not an established creator in Hollywood. So it'll be like, kid, here's your $500. You're bothering me. You know what I mean? And then they
Yeah.
would rewrite it, recreate it, bring in a bunch of people and turn it into something completely different. And I'm too close to this script to let Hollywood just run with it. I wanted to introduce my characters. I wanted to introduce my world the way that I saw fit. And again, build the audience, because who are the people that are getting made into movies? It's people that their books have been around and they've put in the time and they've built that following. So if someday Path gets turned into animation, live action, I don't know, great. But if people just want to read the comic and I get to continue with my team, Gilbert, Matt, Rachel, if we can continue making books and having a kick-ass time, we're going to do that. You know what I mean? So I'm happy. I'm happy with the way things are. Right?
It's
How do
funny.
you feel
Yeah,
about that?
I feel about the same thing. It's funny. I was actually watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles last night,
Yeah.
the 1990 film. And I'm
Yes.
thinking back to their, start, because they started as indie publishers as well. They sold their first issue through mail order and sold like 1,000 copies. And they keep doing the mail orders, and it became an instant hit. And suddenly, they created this following, and then Hollywood started coming, because they had the Playmate toy line, then they had the animated series, and then the movies.
Right.
So you're right. It really is the following and the fans, that leads these things.
We need to go back to mail order, apparently.
Yeah, they don't do it anymore. It's not a practice
No.
anymore, especially
Right.
with dead digital now.
But that's my point, is they had very humble origins. They put in their time. They embraced the
Yeah,
suck. You know what I mean?
exactly.
As we say. And it became a much bigger thing than they probably intended it to be. But it's because it's quality, and people it takes time to build your audience. You know what I mean? And find your people
Yeah.
and find your following. So just gotta put in your time. Now, if Netflix came a knocking, Ian, and they were like, "We'd love to buy Codename Hunter," would you do it? What exceptions would you have? Like,
You know,
what would that look like to you?
I always wanted to have an animated series,
Yeah.
based on the style of the Masters of the Universe animated series, like
Ooh.
Revelation or Revolution, that type of style. But I would insist that I be, part of the creative team. I would insist on it.
Good morning, Dustin. I agree with you. If you can stay on as a creative voice, but I mean, like, what's so frustrating to me is, have you ever worked with production? Have you ever worked?
I've been on sets. I've worked as a production assistant for
Okay.
a CBS TV show, so I know exactly how.
Yeah.
I know how the business works. I know how the business works.
So how things get cut, how things get
Yeah,
edited for a time, how they rewrite them because some head honcho was like, needs to have more XYZ. Um, it's just I feel like there's so many movies and TV shows that could have been a lot better if people would get out of the kitchen. You know what I mean? Like, there's too many
yeah,
cooks in the kitchen.
yeah,
You hire the creative person to tell their story. Get out of the way. No?
yeah. Exactly, exactly.
Feel like indie and physical media are on the brink of becoming popular. I agree with
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
Dylan, because people are sick of reboot, recycle, prequel, sequel. I gotta tell you, when I go to Comic Cons and people are like, I'm not really into comics, and I tell them, that's cool. I wasn't into comics either until I started writing one, because I'm tired of Hollywood. I'm tired of that reboot, recycle, prequel, sequel. So I decided to do it myself,
yeah,
because Hollywood isn't investing in new stories, and they understand that, right? And
Yeah.
so a lot of times it's like you have to venture into indie to find something new. Otherwise, you're just going to be getting the same recycled BS. Sorry, I'll get off my soapbox. Say this every week.
No. I totally agree with you on this because I'm also sick of the reboots, and I'm like, why don't we have anything original? Why don't Hollywood looks at the indie comics?
You're funny, bro. He's like, the only way to wake up is to Laurie. Hell. I'm like a cup of coffee in the morning. I'll get you woken up and I don't know, riled up. It depends on how much caffeine I've had. I'm gonna go off on my soapbox. Sorry. Yeah, fun times. So,
Yeah,
okay. So if you could stay on as creative, you would do on Netflix. So would it be series, movie? Like how would you envision this
I
animated?
I would definitely do it as an animated series, because I
Mhm.
think that's the only way to really do it, because if you're doing live action, you run the risk, that you lose your audience with, you know, casting, because you're like, he doesn't look like the character, it's always
Oh.
that type of deal. Or if it's a film, who's going to be the director, who's going to write the thing, because a lot of people have a lot of different opinions on, who could, produce the best movie.
And see, okay. At some point when I had started in Path, and so for those of you that are listening and not watching, Dylan has a comment that says, also having to water it down to make it more universal to get the most audience. But if everything is made for everyone, then it's made for no one. When I first started Path, now I'm going to pick your brain on this too, Ian.
Mm.
Someone told me in a roundabout way, they didn't say it to my face, which is even more backhanded, but someone had said, Path will never be big because it's not mainstream enough. And so I was like, if I'm making things to be mainstream, then in my opinion, they're forgettable. I want to be that different outside of the box that grabs your attention because it hasn't been done before. Right? Is that
Yeah.
so? What do you feel about that? Do you need to market your stuff? Do you change your story for the masses for mass appeal? Or do you do something so original? Like Dune, for example, is not for everybody because it's so high concept. Do you risk losing people because you're so different?
I do, because I want to be different.
Ouch.
That's the thing.
Right?
God.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah, I want to be different. I don't want to be like everyone else. I don't want it to be like a hard copy of someone else, because I'm like, well, why do you just buy that one? And so what are you doing buying mine? Just go buy that one.
Right. It's been done.
Yeah.
Do something different.
So yeah, I want to do something different, and I also want to, bring people who've never read comics before reading comics. That's the most important thing as storytellers, because it's a very hard business, folks. It really is hard.
Yeah.
Trying to be original in genres that have pretty much been played out, but we still do it. We still hit the grind. And so far we've been rewarded, for our efforts. I mean, Laurie, you have a huge following now because of Path.
Yeah. Thank you. And I love them because again, it's like when it's almost like finding your people.
Yeah,
Because when you have such a weird niche idea and other people are like, this is really cool. And I want to come along for the ride. It's like, those are my people. And
yeah,
it's hard. It's like almost like in my physical vicinity, I ain't got no people. Everybody's like, that's weird. You know what I mean? So you have to kind
yeah,
of like branch out and meet new people and put yourself out there to find your audience because there is a ton of people that love what we do. There's an audience for every genre. You know what I mean? You just got to find
yeah,
them.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
but it's great when they're like, I want to come along on this journey with you. You know, that's that's the best because it's not
Yeah,
always your close friends and your family. They may not understand it. So
yeah,
they definitely don't
that's true.
understand what you do, where you're like, "Hey, I wrote a story. I'm gonna draw it and put it into his book, and then, I wanna put it in the hand of" they don't get that. Crazy Ian.
Yes, I am
Telling
crazy.
its
Yeah, I'm
stories.
crazy. No,
Oh yeah, I say crazy Ian with love, darling, because
I get,
half
I
the
get
time people are like, that crazy Laurie. What is she doing in her backyard dressed up as Pikachu?
it. But you see the end result, though. You see the end result.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I needed a week to kind of get my life together because my kids went back to school.
Mm.
So it's the second week of school, things gonna start calming down. I'm gonna be sending out surveys for the Kickstarter, and I'm gonna be sending out slice and dice surveys as well, so we can start naming. I think we're gonna name a pumpkin. I think we're gonna do a pumpkin,
Oh,
maybe, because pumpkin should be out next month, September.
yeah. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Usually. So
Yeah.
we could I really hope that the chainsaw, I'm going to put the chainsaw on the list. Really would like to do a chainsaw this time. Do you have any chainsaws written into Codename Hunter?
You know,
Like, nice
I
segue.
it could be. I actually I could be done maybe in issue 5.
Space chainsaws.
Yeah.
You got to
I got
do
a
it now.
character. Yeah, I got a character. He's a cyborg, so yeah, I think it could
Yeah.
happen.
All right, so let's circle back to Codename Hunter. So you're working on your very first Kickstarter.
Yeah.
What does it feel like right now?
It feels a little weird to be on the other side, creating something like that because, like I said, I've had many indie creators on my podcast, you as well, of course, and I'm always seeing your process. You're not the first person to say that. You're not the first
Really?
to say that. No,
Seth
because
MacFarlane?
yeah, everyone thinks I sound like Peter Griffin.
Oh, I didn't think that until you just said it.
Yeah.
Do it again.
So yeah, if Seth, if you need a break, I could totally do the voice for an episode if you need a break.
I do too now. Now I can't get it. I won't be able to get it out of my head. Thank you, Dustin.
Oh man.
No. Okay. So go back. Sorry. This is how it happens on the show because the chat is funny and they crack me up.
It's all right.
So you're on this side, the behind the scenes setting up a Kickstarter, having seen everybody else kind of go through it. So what are you picking and choosing? Like, I mean, because again, you watch campaigns, right?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
watching people succeed, fail, what works. So what are you
Now I can't ever oh
I'm
my
right.
God.
Way to
This is
go. Like just,
I didn't want to
totally.
say that. You gotta follow
So
me for the rest of my life.
yeah, dang it. So I mean, like, how do you pick and choose? And how do you like what are the things that you think are gonna work for your audience? Because not everything works for every audience. So
Yeah.
how are you wading through this massive information?
Well, I do to pick and choose from other ones, successful ones, even ones from specifically that just had 3 issues come out,
Yeah.
because that's something that you really need to learn. Saying, okay, you got 3 issues out, so and you're already working at 4th one. How do I market the 3 issues that you've already done? So I look at those, and yeah, I do pick and choose. I even picked from you, Laurie. Just a little bit, just a bit. Yeah, because you have a unique way of marketing, and I was like, you know what? I could follow some of these
Cuckoo.
examples.
I'm cuckoo, that's why.
Well, I can't do those video contents that you do. I can't
No.
do that. No, no,
That's
no,
my
no.
cuckoo part where I'm like, everybody fall down. Oh,
Anyway, but I do look what
so
the people that just work, that had successful ones. Not that I'm going to say that mine's going to be successful. I hope it is, but
I would hope so.
yeah,
Well, yeah, and I think that specifically with your case, you're coming into it in a great position because one, your expense is your time. that you don't have to collect $6,000 to produce 3 comics, because you've already created them. You know what I mean? Because it's
Yeah.
your time. And
Yeah.
so your print charge is probably your biggest expense, I would think,
Yeah.
right?
It
And
is.
then merch. And so your goal can be relatively low. So you can hit it and have, a high chance of success is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But then still, um, capitalize on the distribution. So what I love about Kickstarter is it's a built-in audience. And if they know that not only are, you're just for the print charge, but you already have 3 books that you can utilize, that's a great place to start. It's really hard to upsell somebody when you just have 1 issue. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
I can upsell you on a t-shirt or merch, but not everybody wants that merch. They just want books sometimes. So you're in a position where it's like, I have issues 1, 2, and 3 already available. And then you can order what you need. Hopefully order a little bit more for stock. And then you can start doing Comic-Con. Have you been doing Comic-Cons, Ian? I just assuming, but you
I
tell me.
have been. I have been. I
Yeah.
have been.
Okay. So you have them in print already?
Yeah, I got
Gosh,
about
big
quite a
full
bunch
size.
of copies. Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know that
Yeah.
you've been paying out of pocket for that too. Yeah.
Yeah, mostly those have been for conventions, and sometimes, I get pretty good sales, sometimes I don't. So, yeah, I do
That's
have those. I do have copies. So I'm
yeah.
already ready to go. And if I need to print more, I can still print more without any problems.
So then for you, you need something exclusive to the Kickstarter. You need
Yeah,
either an exclusive cover or an exclusive item that would motivate people to get it from the Kickstarter and not wait to, let's say, see you in person or buy it from a website, right?
exactly.
Because you need that
Yeah,
sense of urgency.
yeah.
So, okay, so then you're working on it's going to be in pre-launch.
Hmm.
How long do you plan to be in pre-launch before you push the button?
That's
Oh
another
my
question
God,
because
silly.
I don't know yet. So
Well, it's
that's a
something to
nice
think
question because
about.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Some people will do. I usually do a minimum of 4 weeks to
Okay.
be in pre-launch because then I'm pushing, for 4 weeks to let everybody know when the launch is going to be. I usually have my pre-launch ready well before my Kickstarter itself is ready to launch because as long as
Okay.
you have like bare bones on the Kickstarter, then Kickstarter, the system will approve you to launch. But then I take like another 2 or 3 months to get everything set and to add all my add-ons and all of that stuff. But it can be in pre-launch, the sooner the better, because then you can start promoting and having people sign up for pre-launch, right?
Yeah.
Because that
Yeah.
helps. All those people, hi Andrea, good morning. All those people get an email when you launch that says Ian Miller has launched Codename Hunter. Go support, And
Yeah.
it doesn't guarantee dollars, but it definitely helps. Pre-launch always helps. In fact, that's one of the things that I have to work on myself because I feel
Hmm.
like people don't sign up for my pre-launch because they already know when I'm launching, but that also tells me I'm not attracting enough new people because the new
Yeah.
people should be signing up for pre-launch, right?
Absolutely.
I've seen other people instead of doing the time frame, they wait until they have a certain number of pre-launch followers. Like I don't know why 100 is the magic number, but a lot of people wait and they're like, "Oh, I'll launch when I get 100 followers." I
Mm.
don't know. But so you'll have to figure that out for yourself. But my recommendation is do not get approved and then launch.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair
I've
enough.
I've seen people do that. It does not work out well. You need the time to kind of like build that buzz and build up the hype behind the project. And like a lot of times what I do for those 4 weeks building up to the launch is I'll release like because I do variant covers from like William Russell and Terry Parr, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
who have their own following. So I'm building up buzz about some of the cool things. Usually the last one I release is the A cover because of course that's the magical cover. Um, and so we released that one right before we launched to get people like super excited about it. So
Yeah.
just some thoughts. But how long of a campaign are you planning on running?
Well, from what we talked about the last time,
Mhm.
you said the shorter the campaign, the more successful it actually becomes.
Not necessarily. It just
I know,
that
I
works
know, I
for
know,
me, but
I know, I
I
know.
have seen people run as long as a 60-day campaign, and I don't recommend that, but,
Mhm.
um, yeah, 100 is a good round number. I think that's why people think that for pre-launch.
Yeah.
But, like, Kickstarter, for some reason, if you look it up on their site, says that the magic number is 34 days.
Okay.
But
I think
again,
that's
for
reasonable. Yeah.
me, I always have this plateau, this dead period in the middle.
Hmm.
And so, if I run a 21-day campaign, it cuts out that dead period. But again, it just depends. It depends. And when you run it, is there a holiday? Is there, school? Is there, presidential debates? Like all of those things, people don't pay attention to you if that's going on during your campaign.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
you have to take that into account. Like, oh, Thanksgiving is in there. And so, like, the 3 days before Thanksgiving, no one's paying attention to your Kickstarter. So maybe add 3 days to the end,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well,
Just a
something to think
thought.
about. Something to think about.
Hmm. And then what are you going to do during your Kickstarter? I love asking you all these questions. You were like, I didn't know you were going to quiz me,
No, 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 no,
Laurie.
no, no, no. Well, aside from marketing,
Yeah.
with
Like, what
Kickstarter.
kind of marketing? I'm always curious because I want to pull ideas from you too. Like, what are you going to do that maybe I haven't tried yet?
Well, I did create a trailer for the Kickstarter. I'm gonna probably post that, including the link. That's one idea. Then I have to do a
Mhm.
lot of social media promotion. That's another thing, and just really just share it as crazy as I can. With everything on
Yeah.
everything.
You have a list of podcasts to go on?
I got a couple of names. Yeah, I got a couple of names. I gotta contact them this week. See if they
Yes.
can fit me in.
I'll
Yeah.
make sure you get them scheduled.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Do you have, and now holidays could also help. If you have a witch themed story, it might be smart to launch in the fall in October. This is true. This is
Mm,
true. I have seen people utilize holidays, like if their story is like around Christmas or, 4th of July, to run campaigns around those time periods because people are in the holiday spirit. It makes sense. That's very smart, Dylan. Good
yeah.
advice. What was I gonna ask you? So marketing, yes. Running a campaign, yes. What are you gonna do to stay sane during the Kickstarter? Hit me up. I'll talk to you. Okay, so you can also come on Geekman Masters of the Thunder Nerds.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
another great show here on the network. You can hang out with Dustin and maybe Zombie 13 if he's has a day off. But it's a great show to go on. Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll send you information.
Yeah. Please do. Yeah. I'm probably gonna be working on issue 4.
Working on issue 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, I think there needs to be more conversation about the psychological toll of a Kickstarter
Yeah.
because you may love what you do and then run a Kickstarter and then hate your life.
It's
Maybe
it,
you
it's
should
like the
run.
stock market. It's like the stock market. You just go up, go up, go up, and then down, 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 down.
Yes.
Then.
And we all go through it, myself included. When we launch and I see the numbers fly and I feel like $1 million, and we're all feeling like we're sitting on top of the world. And then after 3 days, it goes stagnant, and you're like, okay, I question all my life choices, and it's screaming into the void about how I think we're cool and everybody should come along, but no one is listening. At least that's the impression. That's how I
Mhm.
feel like. That's not reality. That's just
Yeah.
how Kickstarters are, but I feel like we as creators almost need like a therapy session support system, right?
Hey, yeah. If you want to do that, if you want to do another group,
Group therapy.
episode, do that. Yeah, I'd be happy to join that.
Yeah, and Dylan, that Artcasters is a great show. So Ian, I can give you contact information for
Yeah,
that.
please do.
Um,
Yeah.
and then Nem in the AM. Here's Nem. He would love to have you as a guest as well.
Okay.
So there's a ton of shows out there where creators we love to support indie. I like to get to know people. I like to talk about projects, all of that. You know what I mean? And then you
Yeah.
get to meet the chat. You get to meet new people, and new people get to find you. And if they like, what do we call it? Intergalactic spy-fi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what we call it.
All right. So you've been planning this Kickstarter. What happens when it's done?
I just do it. I just launch it.
Right?
There's gonna be one of those moments where we're gonna be like, okay, no turning back. Let's just do it.
So what happens when
Yeah.
the campaign's over, you're funded, like what are you doing? I mean, besides obviously printing books, but where you go from there?
I just go to issue 4 and 5 and hopefully, do, a printing for a trade and that's it. I keep
Ooh, we're
going.
talking trade someday. How many issues do you
Yes.
think will go in the trade?
Well, this first story arc, it's gonna be 5 issues for the
5.
trade.
Yeah.
Yeah. I already
That's
got
great.
the second and third story arc planned already. I planned that for years. So
See, I
I've
like
already got
that.
that in the can. Yeah.
That's amazing. See, and that's how I know it's a good story because you've planned everything out where it's like, the beginning, the middle, the end, where the story's going. So that way the stuff that we're reading now is going to make sense and it's going to be important for what happens later. You know what I mean? Again, no
Yeah.
fluff.
Exactly. I
Oh,
already know how the ending's gonna be.
yeah.
The ending of the series. I already know that. Because I already wrote that years ago, and that's locked in a vault. So when I'm ready, I'll take it out and say, "Okay, here we go."
Does anybody else besides you know the ending?
No,
Oh no.
yeah. So for those who actually do pick up the series, if you're wondering who's gonna live through the whole arc, I guess you'll just have to wait and see.
Oh my god. I only laugh because I kill everybody. And then I kill them again because it's fun.
I know. I
That's
read your
hilarious.
stuff. I know. I know. I
It's like,
know.
oh, I kill him, and then I bring him back, and then I kill him again. It's a fun joke that I play with my readers. That's why I drink their tears. All right, so okay, so 4 or 5, and then trade paperback,
Mhm.
and then so is the arc goes every 5 issues? 5, 10, 15?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you
Sometimes
have
it might go to 6. I don't know yet.
Yeah, okay. So 15, 16 issues is what we're
You did. You're alive. You did. Yeah.
Welcome to my world, Dylan. Oh, that's funny. So, okay. So 15 issues. Um, this is a hard question someone asked me at one point where I was just starting out and they were
Mhm.
like, "Okay, you're doing 2 issues a year. How many issues?" And I was like, 12. He's like, "You're prepared to put 6 years of your life into this?" How many years of your life do you think it'll take you to get to the 15?
Oh
Right?
God, that's a hard question. I have no idea yet. I
Isn't
still
that
don't know.
crazy? Well,
Yeah,
how long
it
did it
is
take you to
crazy.
do the first 3?
Let's see. I'd say about 3 years, all three of them,
Yeah.
because I took a year, to really do issue 1. Then I took a year to do issue 2. Then issue 3. It's now taken me year and a half to do issue 4 because I was doing other stuff at the time. You know, because I'm also a T-shirt designer as well.
Oh, cool.
So that's a side business. But yeah, it does take a while, to every fine tune everything because
Yeah.
you have to go through so many rewrites of the script, because you have to say, does this make sense? Is this something that people are gonna like? You know, so that's always in your mind. But the way I see the writing is, well, the way I write comics is if there were comics that I would read. You
Yes.
know, because and that's also a danger because you're also the audience. You're also the
Mhm.
reader. So just because you might like something doesn't mean other people will.
So what, in my opinion, because
That that's
there's
there.
other people, again, you just have to find your audience. I really enjoyed your series. I like all of the things that you claim as influence. So,
Yeah.
and if I like it, I know damn sure Nem does because Nem and I like the same things. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you like it, that's how I write comics too. I write it for how stuff that I want, the stuff that I want to consume. I write riddles and stuff in it because I think that's fun. And so not everybody wants to do the riddles, and you don't have to. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But there
Exactly.
are people out there like you and me that love a good spy-fi, and so that's what I want to read. So please
Yeah.
continue writing stuff that you enjoy, right?
I will. I will.
He's like, can't stop me now. I'm already 15 issues in it.
No, no. That's another thing. I can't stop because if I do stop, I might not start again.
I
That's another
I
thing.
feel that way too. Yeah, make your art selfish. Why not? It's your art, it's your life, and it's your time and soul and passion that you pour into it, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like that's how we get art that's soulless is when you don't I mean, and I get this because a lot of artists will do commissions, a lot of artists will take on projects because they need the paycheck, but
Yeah.
hopefully they're taking on projects that resonate with them because art is such a personal thing, right? I'm
Yeah. It
waiting on
is.
my
It is.
audience to be released from the loony bin.
Oh my
I
God.
don't know what to call it. It's my find my people. Yes, no. So it's going to take you approximately 15 years to get through this book, give or take,
Possibly, but again, you never know. I could be able to, produce at a faster pace. You never know.
right? Could win the lotto.
Exactly.
I mean that's what I think too. Like you always see those memes, Ian, where they're like, if I win the lotto, I won't announce anything, but there will be signs, and it'll just be like me in a pile of my own books.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You're like, oh, we can just keep going, and I don't have to run a Kickstarter anymore. It would be great.
Oh yeah.
But in order to win the lotto, you got to play the lotto. So I'm doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Do you have other scripts that you would like to see come to light someday?
I actually do. It's a superhero one. It's also set
Ooh.
in the future, but it's also kind of like a western.
Oh, speaking my
Yeah.
language.
Yeah, because I love westerns. I really do. Magnificent Seven was one of my favorites as a kid,
Yes.
and then I got into Unforgiven. Obviously some of the Clint Eastwood ones. But yeah, I always liked the idea of the loner. Coming into town. Just fixing every other problem. And I also liked Tombstone.
Such a good one.
Yeah,
See, this is why we're friends. This right
exactly,
here.
exactly. Because I always liked the legend of Wyatt Earp, because I was like, wow,
Yeah.
he was such a fascinating guy.
Yeah, like I love the whole mythos behind it's like your reputation precedes you, or
Yeah,
it's like these good guys and these bad guys. And it's like, I wonder how much of it is urban legend where they're like, he took out 15 bandits with one gun and 6 bullets. Like, what?
yeah,
But did he? I mean, like, were they just drunk and he tied them up or
exactly. And the interesting thing was, I found this
Hey.
out through, yeah, mostly westerns. Yeah,
Yeah.
I found this interesting about Wyatt because he mostly liked using his fists as opposed to using his guns,
Yeah.
which I found very interesting.
Yeah. I mean, that's great where you don't have to shoot people.
Yeah,
There was no lawyers back then, so it's not like they could sue you, but I bet you they would try. Well, and again, it's just like if you're not how much of that was, gangs and then vendettas where it's like you shot the guy that ran our gang, I'm in charge now and I'm going to kill you to show that I'm tough. You know what I mean? So it's just this ongoing circle.
yeah,
According to Ancestry, Wyatt Earp, what now? And his brothers We're distant cousins to me? What?
Well,
Wolf? We're gonna send you a hat, a mustache, and a 6-shooter, okay? And I need you to take some pictures for Path of the Pale Rider for reasons. Thank you. His knuckles were his bullets. That's awesome. I'm stealing that, Dylan.
That's a good line. That's a good line.
I know. I was
Yeah,
like,
that definitely use that in Path. Definitely use that in Path.
Ian and I are both stealing that. You're gonna see it in our future issues.
Oh god.
Oh, that's amazing, Dylan. Thank you.
To
So
raise your question though, I also
yeah,
have something I'm working on with my dad at the moment.
really,
Yeah,
comic
we
or
want to
novel?
collaborate. Actually, both.
Okay. Through their mother, Virginia. Interesting. And see,
Really?
that's something that I was thinking about too. And I've never written novel prose before. How
Hmm.
easy would it be to convert from
Oh,
script to novel? I think they're their own animals. Like, I'm not knocking it and
yeah,
saying that it's easy, but thanks, Dylan. But then it's like if you could have a novel, like I would love to have a graphic novel of all 12 of the first arc of Path, but what if I also had a novel of the same thing?
yeah.
Yeah?
I've been thinking about also doing a novel Codename Hunter, so that's another thing that could
Yeah.
be down the road. But yeah, the thing with a novel is you can explore ideas that you had originally for the comic. You're like, uh, I like it, but I can't fit it in the comic. But now I could, in a novel, I could go back and say, okay, maybe I could
Add a
do that.
chapter.
And I could probably even do some background story with some of the characters in my comic. That's what a novel can provide you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just feel like people have their preferred medium.
Yeah,
And so comics, like, you go to a Comic-Con, which is bizarre because it's called a freaking Comic-Con, and people are like, I'm not into comics. I'm like, why are you here? First off, and it's just like not but if you had something that exactly novel would be great, you could give more meat and
exactly.
adventures that you couldn't fit into the comics, right?
Yeah.
It's just, oh, speaking of, Nem has done both. Nem has
Oh,
both novels and comics. So novels are fun to finish and masochistic while you're writing them. I've outlined my next 6. Sorry, but I'm
oh
avoiding
my
the pain.
god.
This is when you need to have a good editor, by the way. I
Yeah,
highly
yeah,
recommend my editor, Rachel Bullock, to anybody who needs an editor. She's amazing. She will help you fine tune your story and make sure your art is on point. You could capture the audience that would rather have a long read. Yeah, you
that's
know?
true. That's true. Yeah,
I just think some people are more likely to read a book than an individual comic book issue. It's almost like
yeah,
binge, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Netflix, like you wanna binge watch a show, or do you wanna watch it as each individual, episode comes out,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I would say binge. I would definitely say binge.
You're a binge, you're a team binge, I am too.
Yeah.
So that's hard.
Hmm.
And that may draw them into wanting the comic to complete the novel. This is also true because you could go back and forth, right?
Yeah.
Because they could read the novel and you could be like, "Oh, did you see that there's the art version of this?" That happens quite a bit, right? Where it's like because we were
Yeah.
talking about Dune,
Hmm.
where it would make a great, oh, and then this. See, and then
Now, see, that's another thing. But I also want to do an audio drama because that would
yeah,
also generate, interest as well.
doing a collection of short stories in my comic world. That's interesting too. And now I think Dustin has a good point too,
Hmm.
where it's like a lot of people are so busy these days. I'm one of them where I'm constantly using my hands. Like I'm lettering 2 books right now. So I can't
Yeah,
watch something, but I can listen to it,
that's
right?
true.
Gosh, I don't have enough hats. Ian definitely doesn't have enough hats to do all these things. Where do we find how do we, you
Yeah.
know, this is the truth
Yeah.
though, Dylan. It's sad that Comic-Con isn't for comics that much. And it's I get it though because I know people that run Comic Cons, and it's like $40,000 to rent a space, and you need to fill the tables. You know what I mean? And there's
Yeah.
just not a ton of indie comic creators, and if there's not enough in the area, then it's like, okay, then we need people to sell candles and T-shirts and candy, and because you
Exactly.
need to fill that space so you can even open the door.
Yeah.
So a Centavision audiobook? That would be weird. I could smell and hear this. Could we taste it too now? That would be weird. I don't know
I would
about
only do that if it was an audio drama instead of an audio book. Because
that would be. I
yeah,
wonder if we could do, because you know how Jelly Bellies has like weird flavored jelly
yeah,
beans?
yeah, yeah,
So you could be like, turn to when you're on page 7, you
yeah.
could have a QR code that says, put the jelly bean in your mouth, and then plays music, and you're tasting and listening to the comic.
That's an interesting idea. That's an interesting idea.
We could bring it to you in all your senses. I don't know about smell, though. Smell would be hard. I mean, no, that's not
Yeah,
hard. We talked about this too on the show.
we did,
Was it
we did.
Nem? Yeah, where you put like a scratch and sniff on the inside of the book. Too bad. Too bad. Scratch and sniff comic. Yeah, I have scratch and sniff covers, but it would be interesting to do a scratch and sniff on the inside.
I wonder how that would work. Yeah, that's a possibility.
You could do it.
Okay.
Because like that's how I'm doing the covers is you just get like a page of transparent stickers with the scent
Mhm.
added. So you can just
Yeah.
add the sticker anywhere. So you could do this. You can do this sense of vision as well. Read this fight scene, then slap yourself in the face.
Good Lord! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh my God. Make him stinky scratch and sniffs. Do I have to,
Oh,
Gilbert? Poor Gilbert already got So I sent everybody scratch and sniff stickers with last campaign. Remember,
mhm.
Ian?
Yeah, I
And
remember.
the zombie scented one was not stinky, but the barbecue sauce one was.
Oh boy!
And I had double bagged them all, but poor Gilbert, I sent his box last, and I don't think he got a double bag. So he opened the box, and it was just like,
Oh
yeah,
God! Oh
punch you
my
in the
God!
face.
Oh my God!
Poor Gilbert.
Dude, I opened the bikes and the smell. Whoa! I can
Whoa.
imagine. I can only imagine.
It was I'm sure
Oh
it was that the barbecue sauce. It was just like it was one of those like you weren't expecting it to make you gag, but it did. It was like it was so gross. Poor
oh my
Gilbert.
God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Just how DC made Harley Quinn scratch and sniff. What?
Okay, okay.
They did what?
They actually did that. Yeah, that was yeah. I don't
Not
recall if that was a bestseller, but yeah, they did that.
smell like BO? Like what was the scent on that, Dylan?
I yeah, tell us because I
No,
don't know
come
what this is.
on. No, they did not.
Seriously,
Did they really?
I I
Oh no. No.
I don't know
Come
why that would be a
come
thing. I don't know why that'd be a thing.
on. We as humans need to be better.
Imagine if they did a poison ivy one.
But that's I don't know. I'm not kink shaming, but that's just a weird kink in my opinion. But I mean, like anybody, that's you do you, I guess. But
Yeah,
there is
yeah.
that one. Wasn't there a lady that died because of that? She was like selling her farts,
I don't know.
and
I
she
have no
actually
idea.
died because she was eating too much fiber and.
Oh God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh, okay, that would actually make more sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, Harley Quinn farts. I need Febreze for my comic collection. Here on the Tuesday morning brew, no subject is taboo. We will talk about your fart scented comic. I didn't know she died. Oh, did I? I don't. Again, hearsay. I have to Google it. Please Google it. Google is free. I think that something happened to her and she had to stop. So I don't know if she died or she got sick, but I guess she was farting too much. Maybe switch over to feet pictures at that point. Ian, I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
So,
Edition.
Gilbert, we're gonna have to do this. We'll think of something. Can you imagine you turn a page and what if it made the sound when you turn? And you do need God. Jesus. We all need Jesus. Go to therapy, she says. I'm gonna have to look up if they have fart scented. Let's go look. Brenda said.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm sorry. We gotta
it's fine. It's fine.
Google. I looked into it and she almost died. Okay. So I'm glad that she's still with us because nobody should have to die from farting too much.
No.
Oh
my Lord.
Therapy didn't take, Lou. Too funny. All right, here we are on Print Descent. Here, I'm going to share my screen. This is the wonderful place, by the way, that I get my scratch and sniff stickers from. So if you are also looking for scratch and sniff stickers, they would be happy to oblige. They print the sticker and add the, what is it called? Microcapsulation to it. And then mine, I got them. They were all separated. So it made it real easy to ship them. I didn't have to cut. Did I have to cut them? I think they were in a strip and I cut them. But stinky, we have burnt rubber, compost, durian, manure, marijuana, mildew, mothballs, natural gas. You'll have to fill in the blanks what you want the farts to smell like. But
yeah.
Look, we got all sorts of stuff here. What is Sugar Daddy?
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to ask for a sample of that one. And they have pickle ones. Like the one that I got is called Cowboy, and it's actually not on this list. They do other things, designer fragrances. So one of the cool things about this site is that I asked for just some free samples to try them out, and they sent this whole card that had a bunch of different things that are not on this list. So, but they're available. You just have to ask. Really cool.
Okay.
Tomato.
Nice.
Anywho, so I thought that was fun. We can we need a madness scent. I ignored the chat for 3.5 seconds. It says, what if I told you about hijacking our page, Laurie? Sorry, Chad. We were talking about fart comics. That's what happens. So I bought some fart spray.
Oh my God.
It's musty and weedy scent. Feet. I don't know if they have a feet option. Is regret on this list?
You guys are hilarious.
Come on. You're just going to have the next 15 minutes of me just laughing on the show. This is going to be the first one that's going to be uploaded to Roku. We're talking about fart scented comics. Oh my God. Welcome to the world. Oh my God. Oh, well, we're gonna have to come up with something smelly for a future comic. We could we could get some fart spray. You guys know that we have like he just puts his head down. He's like, I don't even want to know what comes after what. Can send you a fart scented pillow. Yeah. I'm not farting on it though. Speaking of fart, Laurie. I'm sorry. What? Jesus. Okay. All right. I'm concerned. All right. So let's circle back away from the farts. So what kind of merch are you planning on having for your Kickstarter backers? Let's go that direction for a little bit.
I actually have ball caps, like the ones you're wearing, but
Oh, ball
baseball
caps.
caps.
I thought you said
Yeah.
bald caps. Like
No, 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 no.
no, let's not, Neb. Who was like, who? I don't remember any bald characters in your comics. That would be a
But
bold statement. Ball
I also
caps.
have, yeah, and in three designs. One is the True Red Thread Comics logo. Another one
Yeah.
is the Codename Hunter logo, and even one of the covers.
Ooh. As
Yeah,
t-shirt? Did you say t-shirt or hat?
well, hat obviously, but we also have T-shirts as well and
Okay,
hoodies.
cool. Yeah, I was gonna say you design t-shirts. You should definitely lean into that. I heard bald cap too, says Dylan. I heard bald cap, so I'm going to sit in the corner now before I get it all in trouble. Nem's mind is permanently in the gutter because we were talking about farts. So he'll come back to us eventually after his timeout. Do you need a hat for your corner visit? Nem, we'll get you a hat, a ball cap.
Yeah, yeah. I could definitely provide you with one, man. I could provide you with a hat. It's
But that's cool. So hats, um, shirts, permanently in
hoodies.
the gutter. Hmm. Anything else? Anything else that you're gonna reveal on the show? I always like a good exclusive.
Um, maybe a signed poster.
Ooh,
Yeah,
a smaller one that'll fit in a Gemini.
maybe.
Well, a bigger one. Those are a bitch to mail.
I know. I tried.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you had to take very special care of those.
Yeah, you guys send them in a tube. That's
Mm,
my opinion, the best way. My opinion, not everybody's opinion. Don't fold a
yeah.
poster, in my opinion. But,
No, 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 no. Absolutely not.
signed poster. What would be on said poster? Cover?
A cover or a poster that I actually did create with some of the characters. It was like a movie poster.
Yeah, man. Is it a homage? I love a good homage.
Oh, it's a homage to a couple of things. One a Star Trek poster, one a James Bond poster.
Nice.
So yeah,
You gonna sign it with like the super shiny marker?
yes, of course.
Nice.
It's in space, so I have to do that.
That's a great excuse.
Yeah,
Anything
absolutely.
shiny helps.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Oh
I'm
man,
a raccoon. I just like shiny things.
that's all right. Not a bad thing.
So, sci-fi western, is there any genre that you would feel intimidated by to write?
Intimidated by. Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, the other story I'm doing is a private investigator murder mystery story, so that's fine. But I think the thing that would intimidate me the most is historical fiction.
Ooh. How so?
Well, because you have to be respectful, obviously, of the time period and all that. But I'm like, okay, if I was doing a fictional account of a very public figure, I think that would be problematic because I might upset some historians and all that.
Yeah.
Saying, okay, this didn't happen this way. It's like with I'll give you an example. Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Obviously, the movie and the book are very different.
Yeah.
And because as I recall in the book, he does become a vampire, at the, like in some section of it. But
Spoilers.
obviously, yeah. Sorry if I spoiled it. Sorry, but in
Been out
reality,
for
obviously,
years.
yeah. But in reality, obviously, he was not. So in the movie, they did change it up a bit. Say, okay, we had to make it possible, but we also have to respect what's happened to his life historically.
Yeah. I always like his I think you're right. I love historical fiction because if they're able to tie it into the real life of these people, but it kind of like explains some of the weird quirks that happen. Like what was that movie with John Cusack about Edgar Allan Poe?
Oh,
Where
the Raven, the Raven.
The Raven, where it's like they found him on a bench at the end of his life. And it was like, what are the things that led up to him being dead on a bench? Because that's really how
Exactly.
he died, right? But it's like you can
Yeah,
make up any story that would explain that. So I thought that was kind of cool. But again, you still have to give respect to that. They were real. It's not like made up
yeah,
characters where we can do whatever we want. Can't write romance. Don't done it on a dare and I giggled at the language nonstop. Read my wife's book as research and never laughed so hard. I think romance is actually on my list of things that I'm intimidated by as well.
yeah. It is for me too because just writing a full romance story. Yeah, yeah, it is hard, but yeah, I think romance for just as a one thing, it'd be definitely hard because you have to avoid the cliches. That's the first
Mhm.
thing,
But
and
do
you can't.
you?
Yeah,
I feel
but
like and again, this is just how I'm not big into chick flicks and romance and on any of that.
yeah,
It just
not me
doesn't
either.
speak to me. But I feel like romance is one of those where you like lean into the cliches because that's what people want. Am
Yeah,
I wrong?
it's kind of playing it safe, really.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like I've just never thought. I mean, like, okay, so my story is built in a crazy world. We do have romance in it. Eventually,
Yeah,
uh, we're gonna introduce some new characters that are coming, and then there is some romance. But it's told in the context of my world, though. Like, so I don't consider myself a romance writer. It's just that's where the story goes is part of the main arc. But it's like I feel like with romance, it's like every issue is like focused on that.
yeah, it's the same thing with mine. Because there's some romance in my.
He's like, stop spoiling. Please continue.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say who's romancing whom or or anything like that. But yeah, there's some element of that. But again,
That's what?
that's part of the storytelling. That's part of the story,
Yeah, yeah.
really.
I mean,
So yeah,
it makes sense if your character is, building relationships. That's what people do,
yeah,
right?
exactly, exactly.
And then break the relationships and then everybody dies. That's it. That's how it goes. No?
Yeah,
Am I wrong?
no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It happens.
See, and I've read some of your work, Andrea, and it's fabulous. So again, I wouldn't classify your work as romance either.
Mm.
Um, that it's more something else with romance in it. So I don't know. I still think like if someone was like, I need you to write a romance, I would be like, no.
Yeah, yeah. I'm in the same boat.
Yeah,
Same boat.
exactly. There's a huge following for romance, so I say lean into it. Hmm.
Uh, perhaps.
No, the one I read was definitely not romance. But
Oh, I see. Oh, I get it. I get it. Yeah.
yeah, she'll have to say. I'm not saying, but it's funny. Um, so okay. So is there okay, so let's switch it up. Is there a genre where you haven't written but you would want to in the future?
Oh,
Huh?
you stumped me. You actually stumped me because I actually don't know.
See, I would do sci-fi. I love sci-fi.
You should. You
Um,
should.
I just don't and again, I feel like I need a better idea because all the things that I love, like, I'm with you where it's like it's been done. So I want to do something original. So I haven't found
Mm.
that sci-fi. I love writing supernatural stuff. I have this whole other big script that nobody has read that's very much supernatural. Hey Ray, how are you,
Hey,
sir?
Ray,
Good
how
to
are
see
you?
you. Yeah. you familiar with Ray?
Yes, I've had him on my show many times.
Ah, so you know that rascal.
I do. I do. Good guy. Good guy.
So I just don't feel like I could bring something new. Oh no, what are you? Wait, let's go back. Romance is one of those tread carefully kind of topics, can be easily turned into smut or just
Yeah.
become something overly cheesy high school thing. And so
Yeah.
that's, I think, why I'm intimidated by that, is because I don't think I can write in a way that, I don't know, wouldn't be cheesy. And I'm definitely not interested in smut, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Lola stepped into a failing light of a retreating sun, her gossamer hair billowing and emitting a stench of death that promised golden prices and heated encounters. Ooh la la. And then she shoots sad pancake. What is wrong with us?
I don't know. We're creators. That it happens. Just deal with it.
So did that spark any thoughts to you? Like, is there
Well, you know, I think I would definitely like to, try doing a supernatural horror story, but I'd make it a
ooh,
comedy because I love
I think
comedy. I might get to do
comedy.
that. Yeah,
I think comedy is actually the hardest thing to write.
it is, and I
Don't
used to be
you?
a comedian.
What?
It was something I did for a couple of years during high school. You know,
Yeah.
uh, you know, getting in front of a live audience. Writing jokes, telling jokes that you just written, and getting the laughs. It is addictive. It is. And there was maybe once in my life where I actually bombed horribly, but still, it does become an addiction. But it was at that point in my time where in my life where I was like, do I want to pursue this or pursue being a comic book artist? So
Yeah.
naturally, I went the other way. But occasionally, I will write funny stuff, and I would create funny designs in my T-shirts.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, yeah,
I think a well-rounded comic should have a bunch of boxes that they check. So like mine, horror, existentialism has some comedy, right? And
yeah,
you guys might see some romance, but it's again in the world of horror. So I think that works for you too. Where it's I did chuckle out loud a couple times when I was reading your story. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, I mean, like that's something that kind of breaks up the pacing, and it's like with storytelling, it's so intense at times that you got to throw a joke in there and like break it up, let the moment breathe, and
Absolutely.
then get back into it. But supernatural horror, like spirits, ghosts, exorcisms, or
Yeah.
like, do you consider it as supernatural, like vampires and werewolves?
Well, I consider it, like those ghosts, obviously, another thing. Something along those lines, because I think, you could make fun of, those particular versions of the genres. Like you can make fun of a vampire, you can certainly make fun of a werewolf.
Yeah. I mean, they already did it.
How
We
do you
have
do
Twilight.
exactly? And there's also Dracula dead and loving it. So
Right. You know my theory about how genres work, right? That
yeah,
we start out scary, and then we get campy, and then we get
yeah,
scary, and then we get romance, and then the genre dies, and then you have to start over.
exactly.
So I got to Twilight, dead. Dead.
Yep.
You don't have to be too serious, but also not marvelize the story. What do you mean by marvelize, Dylan?
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, I'm not sure what that. I'm not sure what that means.
Spooky natural. Love at first bite. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it gets campy, it gets silly.
Yeah,
Then it gets scary again. Like here we are, 2025 with the movie Nosferatu, where it's
mm,
finally scary again. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like we've rebooted the genre to be scary again. Don't make fun of my boo Bella. Oh, Lord, I just threw up in my mouth a bit. Bella is the worst. I hate Bella as a character. I've read all the books, which I don't
Why?
know why. I think I was in high school, early college when finishing. So I read the books,
Oh,
but the movies are absolutely terrible. I think I saw the first one and it was like, this is terrible. I never want to see the next one. And one of my friends, like, I don't know if I owed them a favor or something, like guilted me into seeing the second one. And I was like,
oh
never
no.
again,
No, no, no,
never again.
no.
So I didn't see the rest of the Twilight movies. No, no, you can't make me. Yeah, Bella's the worst.
Oh man. Jeez.
Dracula fights that drunk in the alley and wakes up with the hangover saying, what was that maniac drinking? Drunk by association? Secondhand drinking? Nowadays, in every serious scene in Marvel movie, they crack a joke and sometimes it ruins the moment.
Okay, okay. I don't do that in my comic. I can tell you that I don't do that in my comic.
Yeah. I was like, what are we specifically talking about? This makes sense now. This
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah. The last good vampire book was Memnoch the Devil. Ooh, from Anne Rice. I remember I read that one. Queen of the Damned was a great book too. Like all of her books about the vampires were really well done. But I don't know. Have you seen any of the movies for that? I
I
really don't
s-
feel like they've
I
captured them.
I saw the interview with a vampire. This is the movie version years
Yeah.
ago. Apparently, she actually did like it.
I think she was involved with that one with
She was, yeah,
Brad Pitt,
yeah. Tom Cruise, yeah,
Tom Cruise, Antonio Banderas.
yeah. She actually enjoyed that. In fact, there's actually a interview that they did before the movie started where she actually enjoyed it.
And now, okay, so this actually works because vampires have always been known to be sexual, right? Because we have succubus and incubus, right?
Mm,
Where they
yeah,
tempt people. So that makes sense. And yeah, her books, um, I don't remember any of the movies after that. I did see Queen of the Damned and I was not impressed with that one. I loved Aaliyah, but I didn't really care for the movie.
yeah. It happens.
And again, it's like again, it's trying to adapt Dune. There's so much complexity, I think, in Anne Rice books where it's like it just doesn't translate. It's watered down, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
They only did Queen of the Damned, but it was subpar adaptation. Agreed.
Well, there you go. Well, yeah, I agree with you on that because again, we're going back to doing adaptations on book properties that have been around for years, where the plot's just so complex. You're like, how are they going to do that?
How are they going to do that in just one movie? And that's why
Yeah,
I think stories lean more to like a Netflix series, or that's where it's like you got Amazon Prime series and Apple Plus series, and because you can tell more of a story over a course of episodes than you can in a 2-hour period. And no one wants to sit in a 4-hour movie. They just don't want to sit that
no,
long. I've watched all the extended versions of Lord of the Rings, and they're fabulous, but it's just a long time to sit there, right?
yeah,
About 10 years ago, I watched the last 30 minutes of Interview, and I thought it was good. But a few years ago, I watched most of it. I was like, oh my God, this is kind of gay. It kind of is, and that's okay. That's what they're going for. That's it. That's it. That makes you
oh
question
man.
things. And it's like, what's the most famous? It's like The Mummy is like the one that like makes everybody bisexual. It's
Jeez.
just like, oh, look at her. Oh, look at him. All right, I like everybody. That's what happens when you watch The Mummy. And it's why I enjoy Wednesday. It's a different take on the Addams Family, but it has this time to breathe on Netflix. Right.
Yeah,
Plus, Fester looks like my late grandpa. Oh, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing then. So,
yeah, probably kind of a mixed bag.
yeah, if you don't want to watch a 4-hour long movie, but watch 8. Isn't that the truth? That's totally
Yeah,
me binge watching 100%. Like when Blue-Eyed Samurai comes out next season, I'm just going to watch the whole thing for sure. But you can take breaks. Like you can pause after like an episode stops when I get up and I can go eat some food, go to the bathroom, make sure my kids are not watching TV. Just kidding. And then go back to watching 7 hours of Blue-Eyed Samurai. Yes. If you have links, drop them now because we're going to start wrapping up the show here. Ian, if you could tell everybody where they can follow you, what night is your podcast on, what are your social media, all of that good stuff.
Okay. Well, much like Laurie here, I have a YouTube podcast. It's called Triple Threat Comics YouTube channel. You just type that in, you can find me there. I'm currently on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok now. I just started that, and Patreon.
Excellent. So you could follow Ian in all of those places. I would say definitely follow Ian so that way you can get an update of when Codename Hunter is up for pre-launch. And then, of course, when the Kickstarter launches. And let me reiterate that whenever a creator runs a campaign, it is the most important time for us. It helps us produce books, print things, pay artists a wage so they can continue to create art. Because we need it. We need new things in our lives. We are tired of the reboot, recycle, prequel, sequel. So
yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. And yes, Lou, it's coming. I'd rather be patient and have it be right than have them rush out another one. But oh my God, I cannot wait to see her run around and cause havoc. That was such a great series. I really hope that someday Path of the Pale Rider could get that kind of treatment, right? I think Marvel was smart doing show tie-ins, but they've expanded too much now. Agreed. Yeah. And again, here is Renfield's graphic novel from Grey Wolf. Go give it a search. Anything else you would like to add before we wrap it up here, my friend?
Well, if you'd like to take a look at some of the stuff that I'm selling on TeePublic, you can certainly do so. Because I have a link here.
Oh, that's right. We have stuff in the chat, and I see
yes,
this is what happens. Didn't I tell you I'm terrible with these links? We have links to share. Here's that one. And then indieplanet.com. Thank you. Why is it only I pushed the wrong thing? So here's the TeePublic. So these are the merch that you can purchase from Ian because he designs t-shirts. So go give that a look. And then, of course, indieplanet.com. Can they purchase or read for free? Which one are we going here?
Oh, they can purchase it. They can purchase the physical and the digital.
Oh, cool. So definitely check that out as well. I highly recommend this series. I had a blast reading it. It's every bit of spy-fi that Ian describes it as in big budget Marvel movies. That's what you can kind of expect from Codename Hunter. Is all of those things and none of those things, you know what I mean. So
absolutely.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for watching. Next week we got Max Hoven, who will be on the show. Again, another podcaster, creator, very talented. So I have 5,000 questions for him, being first time on the show. And we're going to play a few ads. And then we'll see ourselves out. So be excellent to each other. Kiss your babies. And we will see you all here next week. Bye.
Bye.
Ozzy, what are you doing? Come and have a look at this lovely book that was sent over.
You're wrapping in the perpendicular.
Oh, go on and spit the bat out your mouth. No one can understand you like that.
Say how 5 dentists and all.
Oh, well, that's not much better. Ozzy, why don't you sing to me? I can always understand you when you sing to me.
Fucking my brains. What is this my publisher sent me? Inked in black with art so sweet.
So what do you think? Do you like it?
Oh, Lord, yeah.
you.